Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we're trying to get the free-to-play account in on the Mono White Covert Go White color challenge. White is probably the hardest card to handle in free-to-play without crafts because, let's face it, the white creatures are very underpowered to cost compared to the things that they're up against. When you look at their stats compared to green, it's not that good. When you look at the fact that Black has all these sweet removal spells and synergies with their small creatures like Priest of the Forgotten Gods and Cauldron Familiar. Yeah, that's a lot better than a lot of what White does. What White can do is get aggressive, really aggressive. So you see this deck with no removal unless you count the sacrifice ability on Hanged Executioner. And you see that we're just trying to get in there as much as we can. We have just a ton of cheap creatures, 4 Heraldic Banners to pump them, 3 Inspired Charges to pump them, a Venerated Loxodon, and 1 Angelic Exaltation, which can give a huge boost to a flyer like Healer's Hawk or an unblockable Gingerbrute to help finish the game after we go wide. We're not even running Conclave Tribunal. We're not even bothering with removal. We're just trying to get wide and get dead because we don't even entertain the notion that we can compete in a long game. We just need to get there. There is a Dawn of the Hope, just something to do with our mana. Maybe it can draw some cards, but really, I don't even want to play this card. It's a lack of good options more than anything, because if we're investing 6 mana in making a 1/1 and drawing a card, we're probably too far behind, but I give it a shot. Also, 4 Apostles of the Purifying Light. We're so down on good 2-drops that we run this. Now, some of you are like, you have Healer's Hawk. Why don't you run a Chinese Pridemate? Because this is not really a life gain deck. If you want to, if it just breaks your heart to see Apostle of Purifying Light instead of Pridemate, you can make that switch. But this card can steal some games against the black decks, and hopefully you'll get to see that on camera. That Pridemate would just get brick-walled or murdered in. So I'm sticking with the Apostle. You can do this if you want to. I'm very anti-life gain Pridemate strategies. I think that they're very weak, but I won't tell you how to play the game. But why are you watching me then? It must be my glowing personality. Anyway, let's dive right in. Let Mono White free-to-play nonsense begin. Does this hand give us a chance to win if we play against black? They're black sleeves, that should count. We should have protection from our opponent because they have black sleeves. Nothing they do should be able to touch my apostles, as long as the sleeves are black. I am now a judge. I've decided this is rules. What do you guys think? Do you like my ideas? Pretty great stuff, right? Zand is not actually great, but since Heraldic Banner is almost the best card in our deck, I think that you keep 2 of them. Oh, no way. Oh, no way. Now they took one of my banners. Thank God we had 2 of them. See, it's all working out. It's all working out. Rally. Oh yeah, we're going to be giving you the pro-black beatdown. Let's go ahead and send out a banner before it can get duressed. Oh, I almost said black because I've been thinking about black cards. I like, black was running through my head so much I almost named black with my banner. You monster! All right, well, we can't protect from the sacrifice of Plague Crafter with protection from black. But fortunately we have another, and if our opponent has another Plague Crafter, I have Rally the Throne to intercept it. Ooh, they are getting it back. Well, I've got something for you. Now you don't get it. Hopefully they don't have another Plague Crafter right here, though. They have Davriel. That's okay.
I do hope this mask is intimidating enough.
Kaya's Ghost Form. If this goes to the graveyard... Let me read this. When enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return it to the battlefield. Okay, well, I'll discard this. Curious to see what happens now. So I think I can kill this and exile it with the Apostle. Shall we test the theory? I'm pretty sure that with this ability on the stack, I can activate... It does say when it's put into exile, but that's the thing, right? This exiling with the Apostle would be a separate event. Let's give it a try. The downside, of course, is if this does in fact come back. Actually, there's no reason to. We're going to empty our hand. If we empty our hand, it doesn't matter. We can do the test for science later. There's no reason to do it now. But yeah, I do think I can attack this. It goes to the graveyard. Ghost form ability goes on the stack. I use the Apostle to exile the Davriel again. So in response to the Davriel targeting me, we'll go ahead and make our tokens. No! You monster, how could you? Alright, well, I'm ignoring Davriel since it kind of comes back anyway and it's not doing much to me. But wow, did we just get tripped up. What are you doing? Oh man, we're getting torn apart. All my little creatures are dead. It's sad. It's making me sad. And now our opponent has a Murderous Rider to just stick on the battlefield. Alright, I got a flyer. That's something. That is something. So can our opponent keep killing my things? Do they has the murders? The ghost form's interesting. I wonder if you put a ghost form on a rider if you get it back. So I'm just gonna play this out and pump my squad. It's a really good top deck. And the opponent's still sitting on cards. Makes me wonder what's cooking here. There's gotta be like some kind of removalage. They've gotta be able to kill something. I mean, that's what these black decks do, right? And it's possible they're holding another Ritual of Soot, trying to get the best possible Ritual of Soot, but...
What a whiner.
Interesting. So I don't really want this trade. I could attack with both of these, but I could also play the Exaltation and just make the Healer's Hawk amazing. Wow. I did not expect that to get the scoop. My opponent had at least another turn, at the bare minimum, to draw the answer. Maybe some frustration with the amount of lands they could have been drawing, but that was an interesting game. Battle mode, baby. We're going first, and we've got a knight into an apostle if our opponent is anything black. Their name's Bonfire. They have a Chandra avatar. I don't know what's up with these Fibblethibet sleeves, but it seems like they're going to try to roast my face. In which case, a Venerated Loxodon can be very good. So let's go. Let's go, Grandma. Let's get into fighting. You can give the sword to your daughter another time. We gotta battle. Which is oven on one. Gross. So the good news is that's black. So we can play the Apostle. Then next turn, if our Knight and our Apostle live, we can play Raise the Alarm and Loxodon on one turn. Then Inspired Charge the following turn if we draw land in the next two draw steps. So we're going to lead with the Apostle. Going to Smork with the Knight. Get in there. Do some damage. Smork is Twitch speak for attack. Just for those of you who don't speak the Twitch lingo. I have had to learn it myself. I knew nothing of it. Everything changed. Where are you? Oh! The cat oven combo scoops to the Apostle? I guess I ruined their combo. We figured out Apostle's role in the meta. Normally I would delete such a lopsided game, but since most people, I don't think we quite know how to handle a Cauldron Familiar, apparently Apostle is it. So treat this as your public service announcement that Apostle has a job. I'm loving this. My deck is so desperate that I have Apostle of Purifying Light in my main deck, because I don't have good 2-drops or cards. And I've been paired against 2 black decks in a row. Can we make it 3? Please. You've got to be kidding me. I don't deserve to be so lucky. Alright, let's see what else this deck is up to. Drowned Secrets. Oh. Oh. This might not be what I was hoping for. Regardless, here we go. This exiles cards out of the graveyard. That actually might be Busto, now that I think about it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So next turn is probably Banner, but we'll see. We could play the Loxodon next turn. And who are we milling? Oh, we're milling me. Oh. I thought this might be the Arclight Phoenix thing. Okay. Okie dokes. Well, let's get ready to ride. Our opponent has Drown in the Loch open, and we have 4 cards in the graveyard. So I think what we do here is go straight to Loxodon land, especially since our attacks aren't great. Drown in the Loch won't counter this. Not yet. So, booyah. Now we can attack right through that little 1/2, that puny creature. And it's Murderous Rider. You have to pay 2 life for that. That's a pretty good trade for us. And what else can we do? We can play the Banner, and then we can play an Apostle, which I think is great. It's pretty good getting to double spell this turn. You want to double spell as early as possible in Magic. And let's go. That's a lot of damage coming at you. That Apprentice is going to feel really overwhelmed very quickly at this rate. Murderous Rider to the battlefield. It can't block the Apostles, though. And they threaten to get him for 7. The overwhelmed Apprenti can, I guess you could say. So let's see what we draw. Scrying 2 more. Look at this pile of cards in the graveyard. So far, so good. Nothing too bad to worry about. 41 cards in our deck to go. And they scry both to the bottom, so they're trying to find a solution. They are digging. We find Raise the Alarm. We'll play Raise the Alarm and then Unbreakable Formation to buff them. The opponent will pretty much have to throw everything in front of these creatures just to stay alive. They can gain 2 life by putting the Rider in front of the Witness. I guess they could take these and save their Apprenti, but I don't know why. Their apprentices. You know I like weird plurals. I do it on purpose. I like to get those comments from people correcting me. I don't know what it is. It's my way of fighting back against all the comments telling me what should be in my deck but isn't, and how many bad misplays I make. It's warfare out there, you guys. Pure warfare. A brother's war, because I love you all like brothers. And the occasional sisters. The 1% sisters. Shout out to the 1% of my viewership that's sisters. How you doing? All right. What's going on? Sad Fox. Sad Fox is what's going on. Okay, we are on the move. This hand does one thing, and that's hope to draw in some land and an inspired charge. Let's go. Let's freaking go, team. Straight up ginger brutality. Cookie Rumble. Let's do it. All right, red mana. Scorched Spitties. We drew the charge. We drew the frickin' charge. I don't think the opponent will want to trade, but I'll offer one. I would give up my creature. Whoa. You coward. You coward. Scared I'm gonna beat you up, Red Mage? Scared you're gonna take a beating from the little white creatures? Alright. Well, they are on the draw. They do have more cards in hand. They might just say, I'm gonna play the value game because I'll win the value game. And yeah, they're just gonna D up. I'll send in the Witness. I'd be happy to get the Lifelinker on the board, and the opponent doesn't like that trade, so they don't block. But now I get my Lifelink soldiers, 2 of them. Do you guys remember Goblin Chainwhirler? This is the spot where Goblin Chainwhirler would make me sad. But not anymore. The red deck got a real big, one of its most powerful weapons taken away from it. And here is Unblockable Tin Street Dodger, light up the stage. Our opponent doesn't find the land, but they had another one in their hand anyway. They were just slow rolling us. It's fine. This is fine. I don't have another knight to put on the battlefield for Venerable, so I may as well crash in here. I have a feeling something's getting shocked. Alright, the opponent with 1 block and take some damage, gain some life. We'll put out more companions. Keep them coming. And we need the land next turn. The Inspired Charge absolutely has to be online. It's not lethal anyway, not yet, but we have to be able to catch this Spitfire blocking before our opponent does their cavalcade nonsense. We found it. We found it, chat. Let's go. I know, you're not chat. You're comments. You're not Twitch, you're YouTube. I know. Boy. Read it. And weep. Limited all-star inspirational charge. You know what this card makes me think of? They may take our lives, but they will never take our freedom. This card. Oh yeah, baby. Let's send in a lifelinker. Opponent might have a removal spell. You see there's some slow clicking going on. And they're gonna scoop it up as we threaten to go to 35. And that's game. Yes! Beat the red deck. Nothing I like better. Yeah, it's a hand like all the others. It's just spam apostles and banners and tokens and hope something happens, is what it is. What you got? Our opponent brought their fully formed cat, so that's something. And this isn't black. Oh no. It's white deck on white deck. Let's go ahead and get our 1-2 on the battlefield rather than holding on to the killer for value. I think we just want some battlefield presence. We want to have something going on. There's a beloved princess. The giant killer can block that. It's all part of the plan. Ow. So, is Apostle on the board even useful in this matchup? Am I better off raising the alarm? I'm probably better off raising the alarm, which means I can attack with the giant killer. I can trade one of my tokens for the princess, probably. Sounds mean, doesn't it? If we draw the land next turn, we can play Banner and a Witness, so we can have a double spell turn. Anthem and Threat. That's pretty fun. These Apostles are probably the last things out of the hand, just because they don't really matter in the matchup. They're just a bad 2-mana 2-1 because our opponent, curse them, forgot to play black. Here comes Lifelink. Our opponent definitely has the racing advantage with all this Lifelink. But we have some of our own if we draw land. Let's trade half of my Raise the Alarm for the princess, but the opponent with God's Willing. That's fine. We traded half of our Raise the Alarm for God's Willing. It's okay. That doesn't tilt me. And we did draw our land. Alright, let's go. Name the color white. Now we can attack with these. If the opponent wants to trade with the Hawk, then that's fine. Remember, this token is half of a Raise the Alarm. And that lifelink is a problem. Here's a Hunted Witness. It's a good trade with the princess, so it should be able to shut the princess down. And our opponent has a Starfield Mystic, which, this card's interesting. Enchantment spells cost 1 less. Whenever enchantment is put into a graveyard, you get a +1/+1 counter. It's kind of weird. Anyway, right now I think all we have to know about it is it's a 2/2 body. So this turn is Sworn Companions and Apostle. The Giant Killer could tap this, but I actually don't mind trading with either the Princess or the Mystic with either of these. I just don't want to attack with the Giant Killer. So we'll send these two. Giant Killer's tap ability is very valuable. It can always turn down the largest creature the opponent has. So we want to hang on to it. In the meantime, here's some more Sworn Companions, so we have some lifelink power of our own, and an Apostle of Purifying Light. 3/1. Be afraid. Be very afraid of protection from black. The Hawks are going in. Does the opponent have a follow-up? No. That's weird. So now we have the option of tapping the Starfield Mystic and getting in with all these. Our opponent could have a Raise the Alarm of their own, at which point we just have to trade with some of their stuff. We could also say, fine, trade with my Apostle, and just attack with everything without tapping anything, and then follow up with another Apostle and a Rally. I think we'll do it like this. I could have played Apostle first main, and that would give me a chance to gain the maximum amount of life, but I don't think it's important. I think that saving the information is important, so the opponent takes it all. We'll play a second Apostle. We'll hold up Rally for the throne till the last moment, so the opponent doesn't quite know what to expect. Divine Visitation. If one or more creature tokens would be created, make a 4/4 angel. That is good when you have a way to make tokens. Our opponent has a castle, so we have to close the game now. We absolutely have to close this game. And the opponent holds back the Hawks. We didn't draw a pump effect. We have a very large attack. We may as well use the Giant Killer to tap the Mystic or the Hawk. Let's see. If Hawks block here, the opponent's at 14 and they take 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. If I tap a Hawk, it doesn't matter. The opponent can survive anyway. I can deny them one more life by tapping a Hawk. This doesn't have great blocks anyway. So I guess if the opponent's going to trade it, they may as well. So I may as well deny the opponent a life by tapping a Hawk. Since everything's just a trade anyway. Is there any reason to exile a card from my opponent's graveyard? Probably not, but let's do it. Could have played the land to exile too. I'm not sure if it will have any relevance. But we get our opponent all the way down to 2 life. And now they can make angels, but will that be good enough? They're facing a lot of damage. They have the combo of Castle Online. Finale! They had Finale as their last card. Or they top decked it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. If we attack with all, we win. But that was really close. That was really close. The opponent goes up to 4 from the Hawk, but down to 0. Exacxies. The Divine Visitation deck almost got online. If you like the Divine Visitation combo, make sure you check out my Divine Tokens video. I think it was the first video in the Mono White Color Challenge. I hope that you enjoyed this free-to-play content with Mono White, getting in on that color challenge and exploring what you can do in the color. White is a tough one, so if you want to make big pride mates and things like that, I think you should save that for Orzhov, where there's kind of more powerful cards when you combine white with black. If you're playing straight up mono white, I think you've got to go in on getting wide and getting aggressive. As you saw, the banners and the inspired charges actually helped carry out wins that we probably wouldn't have been able to have if we were just playing 2/2s for 2. So I hope that this gives you an idea of how to play mono white on a budget in free to play. Let's go into the deck really quick and talk about the important cards to craft if you're talking about commons and uncommons for the archetype. Fairy Guidemother is definitely a card you can spend some common wild cards on. This is a really strong card, and getting in more attackers is great. Giant Killer is rare, so I don't like getting that nearly as much as I like getting the, what is the card's name? It also taps thing. I just call it a tapper. Why am I mind blanking on this? That's filter not collected. Law Rune Enforcer. For some reason, the name of this card escapes me way too often. You can craft some Law Rune Enforcer. It's another common, and it's another very good card that can kind of take the place of other Giant Killers. And if you look at the white aggro deck I posted, it had 4 Guidemothers, 4 Giant Killers, and 4 Law Rune Enforcers. So this is another key common that you should craft if you want to take your white battles to the next level. Another thing that you should craft is more Raise the Alarm. Raise the Alarm is an excellent card for this deck. If you're willing to put rare wild cards into the deck, Venerated Loxodon should be the first thing that you pick up. You can also run in the deck some Conclave Tribunals if you want to. I chose to omit them because my deck only runs one way, and it's straight to face to do some damage. A few other cards that can go in the deck if you open them or want to craft them. Tom. If I just put in Tom, there you go. Tomic Distinguished Advocate. Only one M, IK, weird. But this is a great card for the deck if you want to take the time to craft it or get lucky enough to open it. Another one is Tithe Taker. This is another rare. If you get lucky enough to open one, definitely. If you have extra wild cards and want to craft it, go for it. These are much better 2-drops than the Apostle of Purifying Light. But as you saw, every now and then, you just get that black deck. So those are my top recommendations for cards to craft to make the deck better. Also, Castle, Arden Veil is very important. At some point, you may want more of those. Anyway, that's going to cover the mono white deck for me. So thank you for watching this video. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.